Here's a great example. What does this trash tell you about the homeowner? There's a Huffy box with tips for bike safety. Looks like they just bought a bike. Live in Palm Coast at the city offices. Now, we were originally in the Indian Trails neighborhood that was so badly hit last night at about 7 o'clock, but the Flagler County Sheriff's Office has asked us to leave for now, and we're waiting around here at the city offices. They're going to have a news conference here later today anyway, but we did want to bring you this update. As of now, 51 homes are still without power after that storm. A few years ago, you were required to wear a helmet when riding on a motorcycle. But now the law is that you don't have to. It's optional. And law enforcement says that's why they think they've seen an uptick in fatal motorcycle crashes. And let this serve as a reminder. We're still in the midst of hurricane season, so you want to check your yard for any dangerous trees to prevent something like this from happening to you. Seamark Ranch has been doing this field trip for a few years now, and each year they say it gets bigger and better, and they want to continue that and continue to make it more educational too. A fatal single-car crash shut down a portion of Clark Road today for 4 hours. It all started at a Walmart. This is what they do. Thieves look for unlocked doors with valuables inside, and when they find it, well, bingo, it's theirs for the taking, and that's exactly what happened to Betty Mitchell.
You really feel bad. You feel like you've been violated, you know, because all your personal stuff is out there.
Mitchell parked her car in her work parking lot at the Gateway Mall. It's the same place she always parks, a place she thought was safe. But our crime and safety analyst, Ken Jefferson, says you should never assume your valuables are safe.
You never should have a false sense of security, even if you're at work, even if you're at church in the parking lot. You never should have a false sense of security to think that thieves will not steal from you at various places.
Mitchell left a computer bag full of valuables in her car. She also left the backseat door unlocked. A witness saw 2 boys steal from the car and run. Items stolen from Mitchell's car include $2,500 cash, a wallet, driver's license, social security card, debit and credit cards, her checkbook, a Dell computer briefcase, and her grandson's baseball bat.
Christmas money and all that. Now I can't even buy my grandkids nor my kids anything for Christmas because I don't have the money. And I still have to pay the loan back even though the money is gone.
Jefferson says theft is more popular this time of year because more people carry cash around the holidays.
This time of year, thieves are looking for people who are vulnerable, people who pull out large amounts of cash, people who leave items in their cars visible where they can break in and steal it.
Jefferson has some advice. Never keep large amounts of cash in your wallet. Never keep items in plain sight. And, of course, always lock your doors.
Give us a picture of what it's like in San Marco right now.
Bruce, thanks. I'm about to cross the street here at San Marco Boulevard at La Salle. This is the worst of it. So you can see a huge improvement from what it looked like last hour. First of all, the rain stopped, so that's a big deal. But also earlier, we had that current flowing where the curves are. Don't see that anymore, just standstill water. Everything's definitely receding. Let's show that video that we showed you about an hour ago here when conditions were a lot worse. Again, like I said, things getting better here, but still seeing a lot of people traveling here, and that's an issue for drivers, especially with those low cars. I saw somebody just a second ago with one of those cars right down to the ground here, and he was, well, covered in water, at least his tires were. So again, if you do have to come this way, keep that in mind. Coming back to a live picture here, I just want to show you what we showed you earlier. See a huge difference here. No big deal. Things are getting a lot better. But again, be careful. We are live from San Marco. Ashley Mitchem, Channel 4, the local station. Thank you, Stacy and Bruce. I want you to take a look behind me first here. We've got a park where families come and play and picnic, and it may seem like a safe and quiet place. We've even actually have students here waiting for their bus, by the way. Again, it may seem safe and quiet now, but late last night, 3 people were shot in this area, and the victims are now recovering in the hospital. They actually drove themselves to UF Health. And 3 people were shot late last night at West 35th Street and Moncrief Road. JSO responded to that intersection around 10:30 p.m. Police found shell casings in the middle of the road, and then were told that the injured drove themselves to the hospital. Police knocked on neighbors' doors to see if anyone heard or saw anything, but they're still looking for answers.
This particular area is more residential on this side and more commercial on the other side. So we're trying to knock on some doors to see if we can establish any independent witnesses or whether anybody heard anything or saw anything.
Police say there may even be a fourth victim. They went to the hospital to interview the people who were shot, and they really didn't find out much. If you know anything about this shooting, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers. It's 1-866-845-TIPS. Live from the north side, Ashley Mitchem, Channel 4, the local station. One father didn't think he'd ever see his daughter again. It's been 17 years, and we got to be here for their reunion.
Excited, nervous, scared.
Okay, just let her keep it.
A beautiful day in the world. I'm sorry.
Joe Zanowski lost touch with his daughter, and after years of looking, he thought he would never find her.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was she who found him. 2 years ago, his daughter, Laura Stahl, looked him up through an app on her phone. She found an address, then gave it a shot and sent him a letter.
It said L. Stahl, Dallas, Texas. I couldn't imagine. And when I started reading it, I said, this is my daughter.
They've been talking ever since on the phone. Zanowski was hoping to visit her, but in October of last year, he found out he had colon cancer. At this point, they knew they had to make a meeting happen.
I'm happy it happened. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I know I was going to try to make it happen, but just thankful to some friends that actually paid for my ticket.
And both daughter and father are overwhelmed with joy, especially because he got to meet his 10-month-old granddaughter.
Oh my God, it's just, I don't know. I can't even describe how it feels right now.
They both say it's been a long time coming.
Money can't buy what I got today. This is the most wonderful thing. If this cancer takes me tomorrow, I'm happy.
This newly reunited family has big plans today. They plan to take Joe's granddaughter, Ashlyn, to the beach for the very first time.
Search continues for a bear that attacked a Central Florida woman this week. Wildlife officials captured a female bear in a trap not far from where the attack happened, but officials say it's not likely it's the same bear they were looking for. A 54-year-old woman was mauled while walking her dogs on Monday. She remains in the hospital with serious injuries. Authorities say they are taking every precaution. They tranquilized the trapped bear and took samples. They will keep the cub in their care until tests show it's not the bear involved in Monday's attack. Police are still investigating what exactly caused the crash, but Sergeant Bryan says everyone involved in the crash was wearing their seatbelt. And a sergeant is recovering from minor injuries after troopers say a woman rear-ended his patrol car. It happened early Sunday morning on State Road 13, just south of Greenbrier Road. Florida Highway Patrol says Sergeant Glenn Loppy was sitting in his car on the shoulder when a Camry driven by Priscilla Gibson ran into the back of his patrol car. Both Loppy and Gibson went to Memorial Hospital on Racetrack Road with minor injuries. FHP is reporting this crash. It could be days before power's back on for all 440,000 homes and businesses that lost electricity during a weekend storm. Michigan, upstate New York, and northern New England saw snow and ice. The Midwest got snow and there was flooding in the south. The storm is blamed for at least 9 deaths in the U.S. And today is the last day to enroll in health care coverage in order for the plan to kick in by January 1st. But many first-time buyers are facing sticker shock for some of the plans. Experts say that's because they're looking at initial costs, not what the plan will cover. That confusion combined with early glitches in many online exchanges is leading some lawmakers to propose delaying penalties.
I'm not worried about the glitches, computer glitches. We'll fix that sooner or later. I'm worried about having the product that the market will buy, and we're not letting people shop. So with that being said, myself and Mark Kirk introduced a bill, the only bipartisan bill, that says why don't we wait basically before we put any crimes or fines until January 1, 2015. This whole 2014 will be a transitional year.
Now for 2014, the penalty is either $95 per adult, up to $285 per family, or 1% of family income. The White House says it's impossible to protect those with pre-existing conditions without the individual mandate. And a wildfire raging for the past week is 100% contained. It burned through 900 acres and destroyed dozens of homes around Big Sur, California. Local fire crews are battling the last of the flames. People who live in the area are starting to return to their homes and clean up, and the cause of the fire is being investigated still. Also, gas prices are down across the country after a month of increases. The Lundberg survey shows the average for a gallon of regular is now $3.26, which is down by 2 cents. Hey, we'll take it. The lowest across the lower 48 states is $2.84 a gallon. That's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Lucky them. The highest in Long Island, New York at $3.62. The issue of gay marriage is going before a judge again today in Utah. A state is appealing a federal judge's ruling to overturn a state's ban on same-sex marriage. Yesterday, a federal court declined to stop local courts from issuing marriage certificates while a state appeals that ruling. Utah is the 18th state to allow same-sex marriage. UPS deliveries will resume today as it deals with a backlog of packages that didn't make it to their destinations before Christmas. UPS says they called in an additional staff last night, and some employees say it was the worst Christmas ever. UPS and FedEx both experienced delays. The companies blamed bad weather, an increase of online shopping, and fewer shopping days this season. Neither company will say exactly how many packages were delayed, but they both say just a small part of the overall holiday shipments. And in world news this morning, Pakistani officials say a suspected American drone fired 2 missiles at a home, killing at least 3 foreign militants. It happened just before Wednesday midnight in northeastern region of the country. The American drone program is unpopular in Pakistan because many people believe they're killing innocent civilians. They also think it's impeding on their sovereignty. The U.S. denies the claims of killing any civilians. And just days after releasing 2 members of an activist punk band, Russia has dropped the charges against a group of Greenpeace. Recent attack on Target customers is really eye-opening as well as you think about identity theft. About 40 million shoppers had their credit card information stolen, and during the busiest shopping days of the year. So what should you do to protect yourself? First, if you think you're a victim of identity theft, the Federal Trade Commission says you should contact one of the 3 credit reporting agencies and place an initial fraud alert. That makes it harder for the thieves to open accounts in your name. Now, once you've done that, the FTAC recommends ordering a free credit report. That way you can get a full look of activity tied to your name. Finally, you'll want to create an identity theft report. That will allow you to get the fraudulent information removed from your credit report and stop a company from collecting debts on that fraudulent information removed from your credit report and stop a company from collecting those debts. If you think a thief is isolated to just one credit card, just cancel the card and, of course, change your PIN number. Oftentimes, the credit card company or bank will reimburse you for those charges if you report it in a timely manner. That's the key there. Also, after those recent fraud charges, Target is offering a store-wide sale. The CEO says customers can now partake in a 10% discount this weekend. It's the company's way of trying to bring back a little goodwill to customers, and they will offer monitoring services free of charge.